Actually, actually, this is when reliability is important. For everything in our life, reliability is important. If a reference is given by a person whom nobody knows and whose web page nobody can trust and it's not reviewed, but if a company, Intel or Microsoft has put something on the website, or Wikipedia also we can say, because it's a reliable company, some information is there. Either it is not reliable because anybody can change it, but minimum the website is existing for long time. This is the thing. Actually thing is that website is for long time. My website, nobody knows it will exist or not. So this is the reason. Actually, when you are citing a very general thing, it is very obvious, then sometimes it is acceptable. Yeah, if it is not very obvious and there is uncertainty or some kind of shaking there, then maybe reviewer will ask you to eliminate this. Yeah, white papers you can. White papers are normally on the websites of like Intel or yeah some big companies. It can be no problem. It's okay, no problem. Hmm? Yeah. Okay, I will go a little bit faster because a lecture becomes a little bit because we are taking questions very frequently. And later we see the problem description of theory and we give the definition of all notations, symbols and mathematical equations in that area. And like the methodology, we say that we define our main idea and we give the method of or theorems of proving that idea, and we give our own algorithm what we did in that, right? For solving a problem, because first we discuss the problem and then we are solving that problem by our methodology or by our algorithm. Actually, problem descriptions, you are writing that this is the problem, or already existing theories are there in that. So I think problem description, you are just telling about the problem. This is the problem, or maybe this is the existing theory in that. Both you can discuss in that. Sometimes, like I give you example of one of my papers or other papers also. You give a little bit theory of same related thing. For example, I use the fractional Fourier transform for solving a problem, but I will give the theory of fractional Fourier transform in that paper a little bit to entice the reader or to get a general idea or maybe small introduction to the reader. Then I will go in the detail. Means you have to give the related thing also in that. Means you give a small piece of theory of that thing and then you try to solve that problem. So sometimes we give this thing, but normally you refer the author, refer the reader to citation. You give the citation, you go there. But normally we can also do this thing. There is no problem for that. And results and experimentation, you do description of the experiments and presentation of the results in tabular form or maybe figures or by curves or graphs. And conclusion is the basically summary of your findings, not summary of your paper, like finding, what you find in that. In this paper we have achieved this thing. You will not write that we doing this thing by this method, what you achieve, what is the main conclusion at the end, you perform this thing. So you have to give the findings, main finding, but it should not be the repetition of abstract. It's also very important. And the concluding remarks hint on the future work. You give these are the remarks and what could be the future work. In future we will explore this thing. You will find in the some conclusion that they write and it is recommended, and sometimes reviewer asks. I am the example. Maybe once I did not write what will be the I will be doing future work or what is the future work in one sentence. Then reviewer asked me that what is the future work? You did not cite, you did not write in your conclusion. What will be the future work for the reader who will read your paper? So it's also important. An acknowledgement, if somebody supported you, fund, or somebody helped you in that, then you have to acknowledge him. It's also important. And references, like we discussed that should not be web kind of references or weak references, and we have to list reference in appropriate format of the journal or conference. Every journal has different kind of format, so we have to follow that. Maybe Elsevier has different, or IEEE has different, or Springer has different. Have a recent references if possible. Don't use if you are solving a problem, if you don't cite recent, then reviewers normally object that why there is no recent thing. It means that this field has been stagnant, or you have done this work in 2006, now you are publishing this work. That's important. And complete information of the reference, so that somebody can search. If there is something missing, volume number, issue number, so it is not good. You keep complete information and list appropriate number of references. Don't cite so many references, or don't cite less references. Appropriate. It should be appropriate for related to that field. This is very important thing. In abstract, normally you are talking what did I do in a nutshell, right? You ask this question to yourself and see that in abstract that what did I do in a nutshell. An introduction, what is the problem? You are just giving introduction to the reader that what is the problem in that area, right? And materials and method, how did I solve the problem? This is a question about how. Okay, and the results are what did I find in that paper? What are the achievements in that paper? Discussion, what does it mean? You discuss and tell the reader and tell the your colleagues that what does it mean, how it is working. And acknowledgements, who helped me out, funding, or like we discussed. It's just a summary of the old. And cited literature, whose work did I refer to? Who is working in the same field, and I am giving citation. Appendices is extra information. For example, in the paper you cannot solve a very long mathematical equation, but you put at the appendices because it does not create maybe extra charges for the money of the submission. Normally 1 or 2 pages are acceptable. But if you write in the paper, then you will have objection from the editor-in-chief that you cannot write in the paper, do it in the appendices. And before submitting paper, you have to ask these questions to yourself. Have you told reader at the outset, at the beginning, what they might gain by reading your paper? Reveal your idea early, or you reveal your main thing early. Otherwise, he will read the whole paper, he is getting nothing. It will give interest to the reader that if you will reveal your main idea before, early in the paper. Have you made the aim of your work clear? What is the aim and objective of your you are going to do? It should be very clear. Have you explained the significance of your contribution? How significant it be? What kind of results it is achieving, and how it's better than others? How it will have the impact? What impact it will have in the field? Now, have you set your work in the appropriate context by giving sufficient background to your work? Background means literature survey. You have done literature survey in your field. And have you addressed the question of practicality and usefulness, that my solution is practical and it is useful to the community? It's not just a solution which has no usefulness, it's useless. Have you identified future developments that may result from your work? What are the future development, or maybe somebody will extend something, or what will be the future directions in that area? Also one of the forefront concerns. Have you structured your paper in a clear and logical fashion? You know the paper fashion, logical fashion. What is that? Introduction comes first, abstract comes first, and introduction, then methods and results, and then conclusions and acknowledgement and references. You cannot go out of this window. So you have to follow in logical manner, and it should be cohesive with each other. Every section has a cohesion with each other. It should not be just a separate entity. And normally, what are the estimated time for the publication? It's just experience. Okay, when you submit a paper, then how long does it take? Time taken by editor to assign paper, it takes 2 weeks. Around 2 weeks. I also take 2 weeks. I'm telling, because we are busy in our many other things we have to do. So we almost take 2 weeks to assign that paper to the reviewer. First, you submit a paper to editor-in-chief. Okay, and editor-in-chief gives paper to the editor, associate editor, right? And time taken by references to review paper, it takes 1 month to 1 year. Some journals like digital signal processing, I'm reviewer of that paper. They send me, they give me 1 month. They say that please try to submit your paper within 1 month. So, and some journals give me 6 months. I submitted one paper review of IEEE transaction on computers. 6 months I took, because paper is very detailed, very long, and very difficult also. So I have to understand. They say, okay, no problem, we give you 6 months for that. So, and I have also have the example of myself that one paper was accepted after 1 year. Was submitted, I am sending emails to editor-in-chief, a lot of emails. Then after 1 year it was accepted. So it takes a lot of time, and sometimes it is accepted within 1 month. This is also the experience, very quick. Maybe he got the very fast reviewers, and they reviewed very fastly and efficiently, and they submitted the result, and within 1 month you got the result. This is also possible. It depends, it experience, you know. But in engineering, I am telling you, this goes like this. In IEEE, elsewhere, Springer journals in engineering. Time taken by editor to reach a decision, it takes 1 month. When we get the reviews, then we take around 1 month to decide that this paper can be accepted or not. At